Chapter 4. I jerk awake as a sharp pain in my leg wrenches me out of my dreams. At first I think it's pins and needles, but as the sleep clears from my eyes I look down to see a huge black dog trying to pull chunks out of the leg of my jeans. I yell out in shock and kick at it, losing my balance, and fall off the park bench I've been sleeping on. I hit the ground hard, my head fuzzy, trying to make sense of why this monster has decided to attack me. The dog growls, and as I try to scramble to my feet, it jumps up and knocks me back down, causing me to land face first in the grass. I manage to get on all fours and spit out a mouthful of dirt while looking frantically around, trying to get the dog in my line of sight. I catch it less than 2 meters away, crouching low, growling, its tail wagging madly. I look around for help, but from my low position I can't see anything. My blood's pumping. I eye the dog nervously as it crouches, waiting for me to make the first move. We lock eyes. I stare into its big dark eyes, seeing right down into its cold black heart. I make a break for it. I'm quick, but the dog's quicker. I don't even manage to get off the ground. It charges at me, knocking me flat on my back, jumping on my chest. I try to push it off, but it's determined as hell and begins yapping and barking at me. I can feel its hot breath on my nose, its tongue lapping at my face. I put my arms up in defense, yelling, screaming, struggling to get free as the savage mutt tries to get at me. From across the park I hear a voice yelling, footsteps running to my aid. "Jeffrey! Here! Down, Jeffrey!" I feel the big dog yanked off me. I jump up infuriated and spin round, ready to yell my head off at its owner. But as I catch sight of her, my anger vanishes, and I'm looking at one of the most beautiful girls I've ever seen. She's shorter than me, though still fairly tall, with beautiful long brown hair and hazel eyes. She's holding tightly onto her dog's collar while it strains to get at me. "I am so sorry," the girl says as she struggles to keep the massive beast under control. "He's just a pup. He's not fully trained yet." I stand there looking cool, or as cool as one can look after they've just been woken by a savage man-eating dog. It's okay, I stammer. It was just a shock. Relief floods the girl's face and she smiles, flashing pearly white teeth. "That thing," I gasp, drawing in lungfuls of air, my adrenaline going haywire. "That thing tried to kill me." The girl giggles and blushes, covering her mouth to conceal a smile. "He didn't try and kill you," she says. "He's just playing. He doesn't know his own size and strength yet." I spit out the rest of the dirt from my mouth and brush off my hands. "Playing?" I say incredulously. "Just try to keep him on a lead next time. I'm not the only one round here who likes being woken by a savage mongrel with bad breath." The girl laughs. "He's not a savage mongrel. His name's Jeffrey and he's gorgeous." I look down at the big ugly dog. Its tongue hangs out of its mouth at an angle, making it look dopey. "My definition of gorgeous must be a hell of a lot different to yours," I tell the girl. "Gorgeous to me doesn't usually include fangs and a tongue like a doormat." "Funny," she smirks, "but it's partly your fault." "How do you figure that?" I say, annoyed. "Well, you did present him with a soft target. What were you doing sleeping on that bench anyway?" "I was sunbaking and must have drifted off." I look the girl up and down, wondering how she had the nerve to ask. "Why didn't you have that mud on a lead?" The girl looks up at the sky. "It's overcast, weird day to sunbake, and I like letting Jeffrey run free. He's a free spirit." I look down at Jeffrey. He's chasing his tail in a tight circle. "Spastic spirit, more like," I mutter. The girl bites her lip. "You might have a point there," she agrees. "Even the people at puppy school think he's hyperactive." Jeffrey stops chasing his tail and promptly sits down and begins licking his crotch. "How come you call him a pup?" I ask. "That thing's bloody huge. You're not seriously telling me he's not done growing?" "I know," the girl groans. "He's going to be massive, but his main growing stage is over, so he shouldn't get too much bigger." "Thank God," I say, and the girl nods in agreement. "So anyway," she continues, "why were you sleeping out here on a park bench?" I look at the girl, shaking my head. She's persistent, I'll give her that. "I got drunk, dropped pills, and passed out," I shoot at her. She doesn't miss a step. "Must have been fun? How are you enjoying the hangover?" "Pretty good. Might have been better if I hadn't been woken by a big ugly dog." The girl laughs. "Were you scared?" she stirs, making a mock sad face. I frown at her. "No. Why would you say that?" The girl innocently twirls Jeffrey's lead round her wrist. "You kinda screamed when he jumped at you." She covers her mouth again to hide the grin that's threatening to break out. "Fuck off, I did," I say defensively. "Just a little bit," she says, toying with me, struggling not to burst out laughing. "Like a little girl." Can't help myself. I grin. This girl sure can dish it out. Everything I throw at her she counters flawlessly. I smile and sit down on the park bench to spark a cig. The girl walks over and sits down next to me, tying Jeffrey's lead to the legs of the bench. "I'm Lily, by the way." She offers me her hand. "Jason," I reply, taking it and staring into those hazel eyes. "So, you new around here?" "I haven't seen you around the area or school or anything." I definitely would remember her if I had. "Moved here last week," Lily explains. "My dad's work brought us here." "Yeah, whereabouts?" Lily points towards the white-collar neighbourhood on the eastern side of the park. "About 3 blocks that way, you?" I indicate the flats behind me with my thumb. "Born and raised." Lily nods. "Oh, okay, so you're fairly close to me then. We should hang out sometime." "Sure," I think. "Then Kev, Spike and DJ can come round and we can all kick back and chop a mix while we do our linear equations homework." But instead I say, "Yeah, that would be good." Lily beams, then there's silence as we both search for something to say. "You go to school?" I ask finally, throwing my cigarette butt on the ground. "Start on Monday." "Oh yeah, which one?" "K Street Secondary." "Really? Shit, that's where I go." "Yeah? What's it like?" I pause for a second thinking. Same as any place, I guess. Students hate teachers, teachers hate their jobs, and the cleaners hate everybody. She snorts. So you think I'll fit in? God, she's cute. I don't know, I reply. Do you want to learn or just develop good blood connections? Lily grins. Maybe a bit of both, I guess. Then you'll learn how to roll mad 2 paper, I say. But don't count on getting a scholarship to Oxford. Lily rolls her eyes and nods. Yeah, I thought it'd be something like that. Well, as long as your expectations aren't too high, I'm sure you won't be disappointed. If you want to learn, the potential's there, but you have to be pretty dedicated to school. Oh, but I am, Lily says. I stare at her to see if she's joking, but she looks deadly serious. What kind of idiot passes off the chance to get a decent education? I look away. I know at least 3 idiots who have done exactly that. Then you probably do alright. I mean, I do alright and I'm a bit of an idiot. Lily makes a sympathetic face. You seem intelligent enough to me. Yeah, I think. If only my teachers and coordinator agreed. So which class do they put you in? I offer her a cig, but she refuses, so I spark another one for myself. 10A, she replies. What about you? 10F, I joke, as in F for failure. It's an unwritten rule they put all the smarties in A, so you must be pretty academic. Yeah? Yeah, which is kind of a pain for you, because when they give a tour of the school, A is the only class they'll visit. Lily looks me up and down, a bemused expression on her face. Is that true, or are you just winding me up? Nah, it's completely true, I say, grinning. B is where they put humanities and politics kids. C is for the writers, musos and actors. D is almost exclusively for painters, philosophical types. And E is for the tradies and athletes. Lily laughs. You've got some interesting theories, so what's F for then? Flakes, I reply. Bongheads, drongos and future chemical distributors. They give us all the worst teachers, all the worst resources, and leave us pretty much to run amok. Lily chuckles. Well, I guess I'm glad I made it into A then. Hey, while I'm in there, I'll put in a good word for you. Maybe we'll be able to get you moved up in the ranks. You can try, I snort, but don't expect me to put any effort in. Worried about your reputation, huh? Oh well, there's no saving you then. I wink at her. She's cool, this girl is. Lily checks the time on her phone. I gotta go, she tells me. I have a clarinet lesson in about half an hour. It was nice meeting you, Jason. I guess I'll see you around school or something. Yeah, catch you. I notice she unties Jeffrey from the bench and begins tugging him back across the park. I wait for a little while watching her go until she's out of sight. Slowly I get up off the bench and shake my head. Maybe I'll actually bother going into school on Monday after all, just to see her again. I head back towards the flats. It's about time I face up to the inevitable and talk to Sarah. I'm cautious as I enter the flat, quietly pushing the front door open and peering into the living room to check the coast is clear. When I see the couch is empty, I promptly slip in and close the door softly behind me. Sarah is in the living room, sitting on the floor in her pyjamas, eating a bowl of Wheat Bix while watching TV. She turns her head as I enter and gets up to greet me with a hug. Hi, Jace. Where were you this morning? I woke up and no one was home. I look at her, seeing a look of betrayal on her innocent little face. I'm sorry, I tell her. I woke up early and went for a walk. I should have left you a note or something. Did you sleep all right? Sarah nods, frowning. Yeah, fine. You look funny, though. Have you been rolling around in the dirt or something? No, I hesitate. What makes you think that? Sarah giggles. You've got dirt on your nose. You look like you've been rolling around in the mud like a little piggy. I walk over to the mirror in the hallway and see I have a big smudge on my nose. I lick my thumb and begin rubbing it off, cursing Jeffrey at the same time. Must have happened sometime yesterday and I didn't notice it, I tell Sarah. Lily hadn't bothered pointing it out either. Sarah slaps me softly on the chest. You're a silly dirt piggy, Jason. She giggles and goes back to her TV shows. Ever since our mother died, Sarah and I had stuck together. With Robert taking no interest in either of us, it was inevitable we'd end up close. At 10 years old, Sarah acts like my older sister rather than my younger one, and is a spitting image of our mother. Her eyes are sparkling blue just like Mum's. She walks like Mum did, talks like her, and every now and again reacts to something so like Mum would have. It's scary. It saddens me Sarah never really knew Mum the way I did. She died when Sarah was only 6. I walk into the kitchen to fix myself something to eat. I pull a box of Wheat Bix out of the cupboard and head to the fridge for some milk. On the top shelf, 2 tinnies left over from a 30 block rest next to a container of it. Without really thinking, I pull them out, crack the tops and pour the contents down the sink, tossing the empties in the bin. I go back for the milk. It smells a bit off, but I pour it on my Wheat Bix anyway and head into the living room, flopping down on the couch to eat. Sarah gets up off the floor and lies on the couch, resting her head on my knee. I stroke her hair gently in between mouthfuls of food. Chase, she begins softly. How come you hardly ever sleep here anymore on the weekends? I laugh. Don't I? No, never. You're usually out or at Blackjack's or Spike's house, and you never talk to Dad when you're home, and if he talks to you, you just end up fighting. I sigh. What you got to understand, Sarah, is that Rob and I disagree less when we're not round each other. Sarah looks confused. I search myself, trying to find the words to put this as simply and innocently as I can. Sarah, Rob and I can't fight when we're not round each other. And seeing as this is his flat, it's up to me to make sure I'm not round to get in his way. Sarah frowns, something not adding up. But avoiding the problem doesn't make it go away, it just puts it off. She searches my face with those sparkly blue eyes. I know, I admit, stroking her hair again. But some problems can't be solved no matter how hard you try, so in the end the only thing you can do is to avoid it. Sarah nods slightly and turns back to the TV. I fiddle with the frayed edge on the sleeve of her t-shirt. I worry about Sarah. I want her to have the same opportunities normal kids have, and I'm not going to let Robert's indifference to her stand in her way. As soon as I finish year 10 at the end of the year, I'm going to drop out and get a job. We'll move out and I'll buy her all the stuff she needs to be happy and successful in life. I owe her that. Without her, I would have screwed up a long time ago. Sarah doesn't really show it, but I can tell she's sad by the way she's staring absently at the TV. I prod her in the back and she turns to face me again. Do you want to go to the park later? I offer, trying to cheer her up. Yeah, she nods, her face instantly lighting up. Then you can explain to me just why exactly you got arrested again. I exhale deeply, disappointed she's remembered. I kiss her on the forehead and get up from the couch. I grab my phone out of my hoodie and send a text to Blackjack telling him to come and meet me at the park if he isn't doing anything else. I spend the rest of the day with Sarah at the park. At first she's annoyed with me, but after a long period of explaining, arguing and pleading, she forgives me for getting arrested again. We muck around at the playground, chasing each other around, taking turns on the swing, enjoying this rare opportunity to spend time together. At around 2 p.m, Blackjack rocks down with a 20 bag of bud and some chicken soup one of his aunties made. Sarah adores Blackjack and the two of them have a time of it, shit staring me as we eat. His eyes aren't that dopey, Blackjack scoffs through a mouthful of food. I roll my eyes and Sarah cracks up, almost falling off the wooden picnic table we're sitting on. They are, she continues to giggle. Like a puppy. Right here, the two of you, I reply, producing my hand from the depths of my pocket and flipping them off. Sarah spots some friends of hers from school with their parents. I'll be back, she says and runs off to play with them, leaving Blackjack and I free to talk. So how'd you recover from last night? I ask as Blackjack rolls a two-paper from the baggie he bought with him. All right, he replies. I wish I could have remembered more of that blonde though. You know I woke up with 5 missed calls from her after we left? I laugh. Give her a call, I'm sure you're destined to fall in love. Maybe I will, Blackjack teases, a smug grin on his face. So how's the brunette? Oh, we're planning our engagement for next weekend, I say sarcastically, lighting up a spliff as he passes it to me. Blackjack's brow furrows. You know what your problem is? I'm looking for the right man in all the wrong places. No, you're a pussy. Wait, what? Why do people keep saying that? Instead of chasing things up with the brunette, you cut it off the moment you feel vulnerable. You're saying I'm scared. Nah, but you piss your pants at the prospect of opening up to strangers. I try to respond, but I'm a little stunned by Blackjack's observations. Eventually I manage to blurt out, You really think I'm like that? Blackjack grins at me. Bro, I love you, but I've seen how you are. You're so scared of emotional attachment you make DJ look confident. I sit there taken aback. He passes me the joint and takes a long drag before passing it back. You know what your problem is? I tell Blackjack. Yeah, what? He challenges, flashing me a grin. You're a wisecracking smartass who talks too much. He nods, a smirk on his lips. We all have our faults. When Sarah and I get home, Robert is in the living room, lying on the couch, watching TV. It's about the only thing he does do when he's home. Well, that, and drink. I walk past ignoring him and dump my phone and cigs in Sarah in my bedroom, then head into the kitchen to fix us something for dinner. 2-minute noodles are what's on offer, and I go about cooking and straining them, throwing them in 2 bowls and handing one of the bowls to Sarah, who's been waiting patiently by the stove. Then I sit down at the kitchen table to eat. After a few moments of blissful peace, Robert enters the room and goes to the fridge for a beer, swearing and scratching his head when he discovers the fridge is empty. He heads for the cask wine in the pantry instead. Robert throws back his head, gulping down large mouthfuls straight from the cask, breathing out heavily when he's done. So, he asks, pouring the goon into a glass, where have you been? I keep my eyes focused on the wall in front of me, not answering, trying not to provoke him, trying not to snap. Huh? He pushes me on the shoulder, trying to get me to look at him. It works. What do you care? I demand, turning around. He coughs a laugh, because this is my bloody house, and if you want to live here, you tell me where you've been. I was out with mates, okay? I challenged, locking with his bloodshot eyes. Nothing wrong with that, is there? Nothing wrong if you're not going around causing trouble. Well, I'm not. Pig's ass you're not. You and those fucking friends of yours are always causing trouble. Piss off, I react automatically. Robert leans in close to my ear. I can smell the stench of alcohol on his breath. I don't want any more of your shit affecting my life, alright? No cops calling me up in the morning telling me you've been picked up, or your coordinator telling me about what you've done at school. I don't give a shit about your problems, you sort them out. Robert turns on his heels and marches into the living room. I sit there for a moment in silence, taking it all in. I bang my fist on the table in frustration, get up and walk into Sarah in my bedroom and flop back down on my bed. I can't do this much longer. Something has to change, and soon. If you're enjoying this book, please take the time to like, comment, share, and follow. This helps me, the author, considerably, and means I can keep producing content for free forever. Thank you, and have an awesome day.